I think I've grown accustomed to the expectation that old reviews or reviews of older albums will be like 45 minutes because that's how long the Good Kid, Mad City review was. But now I'm kind of realizing that I had so much to say about that album. I might actually have quite a lot to say about Graduation because this is a very condensed album. There's not really any tracks that I can just go, it's good, move on. Most of these tracks I have something to say about. Actually, not entirely true. So we're at third Kanye album, third run, third album, 2007 Graduation, completely different than the last two, despite the fact that it is still among the teddy bear sound. It is in no way feel like a sequel to those to me. I think, if any Kanye album was like a sequel to those, it would be this. But like Late Registration, and I'm not the only one who probably thinks Late Registration feels like directly like Hollywood's Dropout 2. But like this doesn't inherit. This actually feels like the Eminem Show. I'm not really saying that. This feels like the Eminem Show didn't keep. Actually, you know what? It kind of. Never mind. Eminem Show does feel like a direct Marshall Mathers LP sequel, but Graduation has never really felt like a direct Late Registration sequel to me, just because of how different production-wise it is and how there's no skits. It's 13 tracks. When Graduation came out, this was kind of like everywhere. This is still one of the most influential hip-hop albums ever to me. It's one of my favorites. Yeah, I'd say so. It's a really important album to the whole era, and a lot of that sound going around kind of came from this album and the following Kanye album. Because like I've mentioned in one of my recent videos, Kanye leads the trends. He never follows them. But yeah, except for Yeezus. Yeezus, he did. But we're gonna start with Graduation. These intros are getting shorter because like the first video I had a 3-minute intro and now I'm having like a 2-minute intro. Graduation. Let's start with track number 1, Good Morning, which is my favorite Kanye opening ever. Easily my favorite Kanye opening. This is just the most down-tempo, best way you could open the album. This is one of my favorite songs to listen to in the morning. Hey, what the hell? It's a really good track, in my opinion. It's really slow, peaceful, nice. He really did bring out the best he could on the track. And whilst there are like maybe issues I would have with it, I just love it. I just think it's a great track. And I'm gonna plug in my phone real quickly. So yeah, it's gonna be awkward, but I'm just gonna do this because it's gonna die. So yes, Good Morning is a highlight for me. I really love this track, and I think it's my favorite Kanye opening. Ultralight Beam is in range for the Ultralight Beam's opening is beautiful. Champion comes in as track number 2, and it's not inherently a highlight for me, and it's literally one reason. There's like one reason I would not call this a highlight from the album. It is simply because of like there's like a synth, there's a vocal chop in the background. I just find it annoying. I love the track. I like this track. It's fine. I just find the weird sample in the backgrounds that's looped a bazillion times a little annoying, but still a solid track to me. I just would rather get to track number 3, Stronger, which is one of my favorite Kanye songs. One of just the biggest, baddest Kanye songs ever. I don't know why I call it big bad. This is classic in my opinion. Classic from its era. Kanye isn't really... This is a track that often people are like, it's overplayed. And I know why. I can see why it is. It is Kanye's biggest song. But personally enough, I might be the only person who for my first time hearing this song was when I went to go discover Kanye. And I found the single and I was like, oh, that's a huge single. And I played it and I was like, oh, it's Stronger, okay. And now everybody's like, oh, I've heard that song a million times. And I'm like, I'd never heard it until this year. I'm not even joking. I never heard Stronger until this year when I listened to Kanye. Stronger's a great track though. It's big. It's a hit, but it's really uplifting. It feels like one of his most braggadocious songs as well. Honestly, top 3 ever for Kanye. I know that's like weird because it's like, oh, it's just his big hit. But man, it's still just an amazing track in my opinion. I just still don't really want to find an issue with it. It's a really good track. If you want to get pumped up, like emotionally pumped up, listen to Stronger. I Wonder is track number 4. And I love this song. I just love this song. I don't know how to describe it other than just I really love the piano and I just love the kind of passion that comes out of it. And it doesn't really feel like... It feels like a little bit more of an emotional spot for Kanye. And I love just the way he's able to handle all the themes on this. He's able to do a lot of different themes across the entire album, but this track in particular, it's a really good track. It's probably my 4th favorite, honestly, on the whole album. Good Life comes on. It is a little sappy to me. It's good, but it's a little sappy to me. I do like it though. I really like T-Pain's part. I've had the song in my head all day after listening to the album again, but it is admittedly like a tad bit kind of just like I think sappy's a really general term because some people love that. I don't love it, so I can find this track annoying on specific times. Mostly just because of the high-pitched vocals in the background. But T-Pain and Kanye deliver greatness on this track. But arguably, it's the most dated track on the album. I still love it, but it's dated. Can't Tell Me Nothing is a really good track. But I don't think it's one of my favorites on this album. I like it, but I just don't love it. I just don't know what's preventing me from, like, loving this song. I like it a lot. I think it's really well handled. But I just think there's, better tracks on the album. It's not until now that I'm like going through this that I'm like, there was actually a couple tracks on this that I've never fallen in love with. But I really like it overall. I think it really handles it well as a track. And I love the themes on it overall. I do find it weird, though, the way Nothing sounds. I don't know why when he goes, you can't tell me nothing. There's something about how there's nothing to the nothing. Like, if I was Kanye producing the track, I don't know why you wouldn't what would you call copy like the nothing, like why it's not layered. It's not layered. It's just nothing. I don't know. I don't know. I probably makes no sense what I'm saying. When he says nothing in the hook, it's weird to me. Barry Bonds is good. I like it a lot. I like Lil Wayne's part. Okay. There's a lot of tracks on this album that I have one like synth or one thing about the production that I just never fell in love with, and I never quite fell in love with the way this tracks. The very classic and very overused cheering sample is used across it because it's very dated, because that was very popular in like that era, and I've heard it a million times. But I like Lil Wayne on this. I like hearing Kanye and Lil Wayne on a track. That doesn't sound weird, but it rarely happens. It's a nice track to me. Drunken Hot Girls is one of the most hated Kanye songs. To be perfectly honest, I'm kind of on board that hate train. I like it, but the track sounds freaking drunk. It sounds drunk. It's like the track is also drunk, as long with the girls are. It's good, but it's way too long. I don't hate it. I like it, but it's way too long, and it sounds freaking drunk. Like the tempo of the track. Maybe that's the point. But to me, it just sounds like retarded. Like, I would like the idea of like a song about alcohol sounding kind of drunk, if just when you're drunk, you don't act fucking retarded. So, like, the track sounds like that. It sounds like that's kind of like saying on Eminem's Encore is brilliant and great because every track sounds like he's on drugs. No shit, that's why they're terrible. This track isn't terrible, though. I still like it. It's just way too long, man. It's the longest track on this whole album. I don't know why. Flashing Lights is great, though. Amazing track. One of my favorite Kanye tracks. It has one of the best Kanye tempos. It's a really creative tempo to me. It feels really just glamorous, big to me. I like it, and I like Dwell's part on the track as well. And I think overall Kanye delivers it very well. The music video, what's up with the music video? Just explain that to me. I like it though. It's a really big hit, but I really love it. Everything I Am is another really nice track to me. It feels kind of like a nice storytelling track to me. He essentially on this track talks about his how do I start? Well, he talks about a lot of his placement in hip-hop with a DJ Premier beat. I liked that. I love the DJ Premier beat on this. Overall, Premier, besides Dre and Kanye, Premier is my favorite producer. So he's my third favorite producer. But I really love what he does on this track. It's really... I sneezed, so now my nose is fucked up. It's great, though. I don't have COVID, okay? I really like it as a whole, and I think it's a great track. The Glory is a good track about fame and where you are in the place, more about his placement in hip-hop, but it feels kind of a lot about like what he wants his legacy to be. It's a really great track. I think what Kanye wants to go for, once again, he delivers greatly. This track, every track goes for 2 times today. Has my video been interrupted by a phone call? Like, that never happens. I hate it. I don't know why my phone just doesn't like hang up immediately because I'm recording a video. Whatever. Point is, it actually was an important call, so never mind. Point is, though, is that I think I was talking about how every track kind of has a purpose on this album, and every track really succeeds at that purpose. Good Morning succeeds at being the opening, about introducing everything. Good morning, welcome to graduation. Champion does a great way of feeling big, important, but also like egotistical. Stronger is a great pump up. Basically what the hook says, that don't kill me, only makes me stronger track. I Wonder feels like a life like thought-provoking track of you reflecting. A Good Life feels like an upbeat, happy, like just you love your life so much, it's celebrate. Can't Tell Me Nothing perfectly describes this world of fame and money changing you, which is just what he talks about on the track. Barry Bonds describes the big money side of it as well. Drunken Hot Girls sounds drunk as fuck. Flashing Lights sounds a lot like sounds very glamorous. It sounds like freaking Flashing Lights. Everything I Am sounds like a track about reflecting on who you are and what made you everything you are. The Glory sounds like a glorious big track about what you love. Now on to Homecoming, which is my favorite track on the song besides Stronger. I love this song so much. I love storytelling. I love personification tracks. I love tracks where you take an object and you describe it as a woman. I love that concept, and I think whenever a rapper does it, it's really nice, unless they suck at it. Like, that's why I Used to Love Her by Common is one of my favorite just songs ever. There's a lot of really great examples of it. Homecoming is a great example of it, despite the fact that Kanye is not the best lyricist, so he's not perfect at, like, doing this idea, because there's a lot of points where, would a girl really go up to you and say, my name is Wendy and I like to blow trees? Like, it's true, yeah, like, it's the Windy City, but, like, no girl would ever go up to you and, like, say they smoke. And, like, you could argue that there are a couple points in I Used to Love Her where it doesn't really make sense, but it mostly makes sense. That line makes no sense to me, but overall I love Homecoming as a track. I think it's a really great dedication to his home. Chris Martin, his hook is great. Like, I remember somebody described it very well. Kanye is great at taking really cheesy, like, white male artists and really bringing out the best of them in a track. Homecoming is a highlight for me. I really love what he does with this, and it's honestly just a fun track. Big Brother it's not just a fun track. I love the piano too. Piano, fucking beautiful. Big Brother's a really great dedication to his brother, but it feels in a lot of ways kind of honest. He tells the whole story of him meeting Jay-Z, seeing him as his idol. Like, oh my God, I grew up loving you. And then Jay-Z helping him get into it, becoming his producer. And then him getting his first album. Jay-Z helped with that. It really fits well with what the album wants to go for. And I think it's a great send-off overall, because it's kind of like Graduation in a lot of ways feels like that celebration of everything Kanye's had so far. Everything he's come to. Graduate, celebrate, because graduation is a celebrating idea. You're celebrating. You're out of school now. That's what this whole album is about. And he kind of wants to just celebrate that on this album. Big Brother is kind of like this, let's celebrate, but also let's celebrate my brother. In the same way, that Last Call is kind of a toast and a celebration and a nod to Rockefeller for helping him get to college dropout. I don't think Late really is a celebration track, but Big Brother is a nod to his big brother, Jay-Z. And this track, often most people, like, I really love the way he shows tribute to Jay-Z, because as two competing artists in 2005, and still are competing artists today, I think he really does well with it. And it's a really nice track. It's really big, it's really good, but it's really meaningful. Overall, does Graduation have grand production and, like, emotional production like Late Registration? No. Does it have that raw soul way of College Dropout? Not at all. But is it great? Hell yeah. Graduation is one of my favorite albums. I think he does so well with what this album wants to do. There's so many big tracks. There's so many highlights from this album. Almost every track is good to me, except for just, like I mentioned, yeah, there are flaws with tracks like Can't Tell Me Nothing, Barry Bonds, Good Life, Champion, and Drunken Hot Girls, but I like all the tracks, except for Drunken Hot Girls. I don't really like that track. But overall, I just enjoy this album as a whole. I think he really did handle what he was given well. He really did make a very iconic moment on hip-hop history. I really wish there was a vinyl for this album, but there's not. But just, I love this album and everything it was able to do. And really, at the end of the day, Kanye couldn't have made, like, a better album. That's arguable. There wasn't going to be a better album than this. Graduation's amazing to me. I'm feeling a solid... What should I go? I'm feeling a solid A. I was thinking A-. I'm going A. I love the album. It's a classic to me. It's great. See you guys next time. What do you guys think on Graduation? Let me know in the comment section below. Bye. Next is 808s. Will not be nearly as positive, but I still like it. Bye. I actually listen to these albums as I play with GTA. So, like, I'm going to listen to 808s and Heartbreaks, an album about heartbreak, while Well, do like Robin and Shuna Banks in GTA, whatever. Bye.